If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Jesus Christ, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained. But refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach, because we trust in the living God, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe. 1 Timothy 4:6-10. My brother, Paul bids you feed on the inner word you have already tasted, for you have drunk deeply of faith and the good teaching that awakened you. These words are no outward ritual, but the very voice of your Father echoing in your heart. Refuse, therefore, the idle tales that speak of gods afar. They betray you from the only mystery that matters, the crucifixion and resurrection that must take place in your own skull of dust. You know well that to exercise the flesh profits little. You may jog the body, but the temple within remains unbuilt. True godliness is profitable unto all things, for it is the unfolding of the Christ who was crucified with David in every pang, then rose within him from the dust. In that rising you obtain both the promise of this present life born from above, and of that which is to come, the completion of your own divine birth. Labor, then, to remember these things. Suffer reproach if you must, for the world cannot see this secret drama. They ask, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" just as David asked. Yet in the 22nd Psalm the cry turns to triumph. He hath wrought it. So shall you proclaim your deliverance to unborn generations. Trust in the living God, not as an ancient article of faith, but as the one who breathed in the dust of your body, calling you forth. For if God wrought resurrection in David, if he echoed each word of the cross in the Psalms, then there is no other God to perform it but the same I am within you. You are both minister and sacrifice, the denied idols and the one true offering. Walk in this faith, nourish yourself on these words of power, and know that the Savior of all men is already at work in you, specially revealing himself to those who believe. Paul's advice in 1 Timothy 4:6-10 sketches an inner journey from distracted, shallow thinking into sustained, faith-filled consciousness. Putting the brethren in remembrance of these things is simply the discipline of recalling your highest inner conviction, your attainment of divine life, which anchors your identity in godliness rather than in passing thoughts. Refusing profane and old wives' fables means rejecting every limiting belief or fear script that tries to hijack your mind. The real exercise Paul commends is not physical but mental, a persistent workout of your imagination and attention toward what is true, good, and eternal. At the heart of this text is manifestation by identification. When you habitually nourish yourself in the words of faith and of good doctrine, you saturate your subconscious with a living assumption. That assumption is the creative root from which every outer event will spring. Like a seed, your focused thought and feeling become flesh. Bodily exercise profiteth little because muscles shrink back, but interior exercise of vivid, affirmative imagining impresses your whole being, and its promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come unfolds in your life as concrete reality. The verse reveals that the very power of God, the living I am that Paul calls the Savior of all men, resides in your consciousness. This is not an external deity, but your own self as infinite creative mind. When you trust this living God within, you possess the power to redeem any condition, to bring health, to overcome lack, to transform relationships, even to suffer reproach and emerge victorious. Your divine privilege is to become a good minister of Jesus Christ, that is, a channel through which your inner Christ self manifests in the world. Begin each morning before you even rise by recalling a moment when you felt truly inspired or triumphant, letting that feeling wash over you once more. As you carry this uplifted energy into the day, stay attentive to any negative thought that arises, gently naming it a profane fable and releasing it without resistance. Then, Devote 5 to 10 minutes daily to imagining yourself already living the promise you seek, whether health, prosperity, or peace, and in the stillness speak silently. I am nourished by the living God within me. I now walk in godliness that blesses my present and my future. When circumstances outside seem to push back, affirm inwardly, because I trust I am, every seeming obstacle serves my highest fulfillment, and allow that trust to resonate through your being. By weaving together remembrance, refusal, visualization, and trust, you gradually attune your consciousness to the life-creating word within, and you will observe the world around you shifting to reflect the divine assumption you hold.